As frustrating as this game can be at times, at moments there are also breaths of fresh air, and this breath of fresh air comes in the form of a guy called Brad, whose Xbox tag is Brick Mason 19. We were talking in a game previously to this one, and we decided to division up and go double div with daring and gearing at legendary tier. There's a lot of Brisbanes out there at the moment, and certainly a lot of radar at high tiers these days. But this one was played to perfection, and it was perhaps not the perfect game. You know, we're not picking up Krakens and High Calibers and Confederates and First Bloods and Dev Strikes and all this kind of stuff. But between he and I, the communication that we had was hugely effective and perfectly timed, and we knew exactly what we were going to do throughout this game, apart from at the very beginning here, because we weren't sure about exactly what we should do, because I was thinking, okay, Z44's pushed left, there's a destroyer going wide right, we're in the center, and I'm like, yep, you know, a lot of the time they're going to rush. I'm not going to poke my head around this corner because everybody always torpedoes the gap, and lo and behold, you know, the gap gets torpedoed, and we narrowly avoid taking an early trip back to port there. But that was a bit of fun. And so we make the decision, not realizing that this Pommern is coming charging through, that we are going to go all the way across the cap, because that appears to be the weak link here on the team. There's a Shimikaze across there, there's an Aegir, there's a Christopher Colombo, and that could prove to be dangerous. But the Shima's got himself spotted, we're running in, and here comes a wall of skill, and here is the best bit of driving you'll ever see on a boat as we slalom through those torpedoes. The sonar is running, you know what's coming next. It's a broadside Shimikaze. He has nothing left of his torpedoes, he's in a smoke screen, and he is gone. And so we decide, okay, let's hang hard left. Closest target is left. Those guys are just over 9 k's away, so it's closer than 9 kilometers. Let's see what we've got there. There we go, we've got the Burgoyne, and we look at him, his turrets are looking off to the right. I'm like, this guy's AFK, he's sat there. And Brad's saying, is this the same Burgoyne that was in the last game that just sat there? And I'm like, I'm not sure, but let's let those torpedoes run, and then we'll see what we can do about it. 2 ships down to 2, but there we go, the Burgoyne has woken up, and he has decided to get moving. We get a couple of torpedoes on him, we don't get a flood, but can we get a fire on him? He's got a damage con available even if we do get a fire. There we go, and it looks like he's put that one out. Is it ticking? It is ticking. Oh, marvellous, I didn't realise that was ticking at the time. But it's now that I turned to Brad and I said, look, we're going to have to turn right and push back towards our cap, because if that Yamato goes, the Aegir and the Christopher Colombo have got a clear run down that flank. And if you watch the ships that are on the left side of the minimap for our team, they are going to start running away because they know these guys are coming round behind them. We're going to slap some torpedoes through the middle as we go through, because we know that Brad's got his torpedoes available. They're slightly slower but much longer range than mine, and I'm calling that as I'm going to go through here, I'm going to cut a hard left, because the plan is we let them continue to push towards our cap, and we push around behind them and off to the side, because their guns are going to be looking towards the capture point, and we are going to be able to get onto them from the rear, which means they're going to have to turn. So I'm going to spot for Brad, he is going to get his torpedoes away, and I will spot, he can get in the smoke, and he can lay the fire onto these guys. Well, those torpedoes are running absolutely beautifully, aren't they? There we go, the guns are on, it's too late for the Aegir, he is out. Christopher Colombo is on his own. Now watch this, I fire my guns 9.6 kilometers and his secondaries are on the go, so he's running a brawling build. That's news for me. So we pop the smoke, we drop detection, we play smart. Brad is still piling shots into the smoke, making the most of of his time. We lose the Hayate to the Kleber. I think the Pommern is there on the cap as well, and the Cruiser, which I think is a Minotaur, is pushing through to red team's cap as well. So all we need to do here, we have a slight advantage on ships. All we need to do is to contest this cap and not let red team turn it. And pushing here onto this cap, I say to Brad, okay, I will go left, I will go right. We know the Christopher Columbo's there. There's one destroyer on red team's cap. There's a destroyer unsighted. There's a smoke screen. The Christopher Columbo has just rolled his smoke, so that means that this smoke screen is a destroyer. And obviously I'm running my sonar as we come onto this cap because I was expecting something there. And all of our torpedoes are going to go whipping through that smoke. So I'm on the left side, Brad is on the right side, so whatever comes out of there is going to be in a crossfire. All we're hoping is that the Christopher Columbo doesn't turn around, but we land a torpedo, and Brad, I think, has also landed a torpedo. There's no flood there, and so I'm going to push and I'm going to get tucked in behind this island. I am detected, or I am located, and I'm very close to that Columbo, and I'm turning because I want to make a runaway if I have to. Z44 there comes around the corner. We are going to wheel him because we've both got shots on. There is no way he is getting away from that, and we just melt him into oblivion. So Christopher Columbo thought he was being smart down here with the big secondaries, with a cruiser with him, with a destroyer with him, 3 red team ships on our cap, and it's all gone to hell. And he takes a torpedo there. Doesn't look like there's a flood. We sort of skip past each other on the side there, and he is running in, and he's in a turn. Brad fires as the distraction for the torpedoes. He takes a hit, he takes a flood, and that one is ticking. Now, what we're going to do here, what's he going to do, what we're going to do. He knows where Brad is, and I think, okay, Brad can see him. No, Brad can't see him. Yeah, so let's get back out of this smoke screen, because there's a good chance he's going to turn and run down my smoke. He knows he's got 2 destroyers after him now. And believe it or not, that flood stuck, it ticked, and it sank him. I was over the moon. It was game over. That was, as I said, perfect communication, strategy and teamwork. We didn't get top spot. We finished 2nd and 3rd. We get 4 kills between us. But as far as destroyer play goes, as far as division play goes, I've played with some excellent people in division, but for only the 2nd game playing with Brad like that, that was an absolute masterpiece, and we were both pretty much speechless at the end of it. I hope you really have enjoyed that one. Don't forget, smash the like button, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and as always, until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.